to help because the interventions will do the job. This is when you sit someone down and you tell them how they're affecting your life and how they need to clean up their ways. That's what an intervention is for. All right?
Yes, sir.
So we are going to do an intervention for someone on this program.
There is one other participant in the conference.
So are we gathering everybody up? Where is
Please
everybody?
announce yourself.
Everybody's going to come in and they're going to tell this person. Jimmy and RTQ, you guys ready to do this intervention?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're ready. Whatever
Allison,
we can do to
are you
help out,
ready?
Ray.
I am ready.
Are you ready for the intervention?
Yes.
All right.
And you know, people do interventions because they care.
That's right.
Yep.
You do intervention because you want to help the person that has the problem. All right. Jim, do you want to start it?
I can start it, yeah. I'd be glad to.
That's a good idea.
Jimmy, you want to start the intervention? Go right ahead.
Okay, now, who's intervening? I mean, you know.
You don't even know the person that's getting. You don't even. Well, then let Mikey
Being
start.
intervened upon.
Yes, you better let Mikey start.
This is a bad start.
Do you mind, Jim? I'll start.
No, go ahead. I'll jump in after.
Well, today's the my second day back, Ray. Since we've
Right.
kind of started doing your things your way,
That's
we're doing
right.
the show, changing
That's
the show
right.
around a little
Damn
bit.
right.
Welcome Sean back as well. And my second day in, I've realized a problem for the second day now, and don't really want to say anything. You don't want to hurt people's feelings, but
Right.
you know when you're friends with people and you're with them every day, and there's a problem, you need to get it out in the open. And
That's what interventions do, right?
Jim smells like somebody took a dump on him. He's the stinkiest man I've ever met in my entire life. He's right. You walk in the door and it stinks, and then everyone else goes outside. And when you stand by everyone else, the smell's gone. And then you walk back in this room, and he's the only one here, and it's Jim. He stinks to high heaven.
He's, Jimmy, you've got a funky smell, and you've had it. You've had it for like about a month now. RTQ, am I lying?
No, Ray, I'm telling you, when we go outside, take our breaks, and Jimmy comes in here and runs the board, the smell never goes away. And like Mikey said, everybody outside, you look around, you talk, you don't smell nothing.
Well,
you
it's
come
windy
right back
outside.
in here, and what do you smell?
Yes. Jim, do you wash your crotch?
Yeah.
And do you own a scrub brush?
That's where I do my best washing.
Do you wash your armpits?
Yeah. I just don't really use
Allison, go
deodorant.
right ahead.
It's very offensive and almost disrespectful to the rest of us because, your lack of care for hygiene affects our working relationship.
Did you notice the other day, Jim, when we had that big meeting, and it was Sean's first meeting on the show?
Yeah.
That Allison and Superfan and Tommy, that they all sat away from you.
As possible.
And the only person who sat near you was Sean, who didn't know better. Did you realize that?
I know Sean's sitting next to me.
But didn't you realize that? Did you realize halfway through the meeting that he started moving away from you?
I did notice that, but I just thought he was...
Phone scooter Tommy, you have something you want to say in this intervention?
Well, sometimes it's really hard to explain to people when something like that's happening.
Right.
But the production studio is so small. I'd rather spend time in the bathroom after one of the guys from the AM studio has been in there to take a dump and to let Jim in there to help me out.
Yeah. So Jimmy, the thing is, you haven't always been like this. Before you didn't stink.
No.
But now you stink. I mean, you do. You stink.
Well, I ran out of deodorant.
Smells like alcohol.
We all know this. There's a deodorant shortage. It's gone up to $15 a freaking bar. It's because of the problems in the Middle East.
I just haven't been
Yes,
shopping.
there's an embargo.
Sean's right. Deodorant only costs like $1.59.
What about soap?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put a syntax on deodorant.
I mean, come on. You didn't stink until like a month ago, and now you reek. It's horrible.
I ran out of deodorant.
A month ago?
Yeah.
And you haven't bought deodorant in a month? Can I ask you this, Jimmy? You've gained so much weight. Is it impossible for you to wash your ass now, or what? Because
Or wipe it even.
yes, because you stink.
Does the utensil you use, Jimmy, have any bristles on it?
For God's sakes.
I use one of those little scrubbers.
You stink. You stink miserably right now.
You must be using the toilet brush instead of
And
the
you know what?
scrubber.
You do every day. Do you know, Jimmy? Do you notice that no one goes to lunch with you anymore? No one likes to hang out with you that much, like anymore.
Well, Marvin doesn't mind.
Wow. That's a whole other intervention there.
He ruins
Marvin has never
his
complained.
entire social life. No one gets near him. No one eats lunch with him. Over $1.30 bar of deodorant.
That's it. And the kind of weekends he has, brushing his teeth would do wonders.
Yes.
Last Friday at the concert, he stunk like hell.
Oh my
horrible.
God. Yes.
Horrible.
At the Tesla concert, at the Rock 106 Christmas party in Peoria, you smelled so bad. And I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to embarrass you, but I'm like, Tommy goes to me and he goes, we've got to do something because he's out of control. And then Mikey goes to me today and goes, I'm back 2 days. And if we don't do something to Jim, he's just going to embarrass the show. He's going to hurt the show because he's going to be out in public stinking like that. And people are going to go, I'm not going to listen to that show that has the stinky little gay guy on it.
Even Marvin behind his back said
I
it
know,
stinks.
even Marvin. You know what?
Bodine told me yesterday. That there you go.
Yeah, Bodine actually did say that yesterday. He was in the hallway.
Yes.
He goes, the first time I'd seen Bodine Ray, and I bet 6 months. And he came up to me and goes, Mikey, how you doing? He shook my hand. He goes, you're going to be proud of me. I go, why? He goes, I took a shower. He goes, that's a lot more than I could say for Jim.
Yes.
And then I walk in here and I about fell over. It was
Even
so
Bodine
bad.
thinks you stink. And Marvin, I wish Marvin would call right now because Marvin, even though he hangs out with you,
Yeah.
dude, every time you leave the studio, he comes back and says, my God.
Now, I have noticed that, like, when we go to commercials and everything, everybody leaves the studio.
Yes, Jim, you stink. You stink. So like when they do regular drug interventions and stuff, they like kidnap the person and put them in rehab?
They do?
Yes.
Oh, I don't want to go to rehab.
You're not going to rehab, but
Oh, good.
you're going to be kidnapped right now by RDQ and Tommy
What?
and Mikey, and they're going to take your ass out. They're going to scrub you down because you stink.
Well, right out here by this window, we're going to get him.
You stink.
I'll go out and buy deodorant today. I
You
promise.
are going to get washed. No,
No,
you
right
need to be
now.
washed. I think it's more than just not wearing deodorant. I think that you have a problem.
No, it's just deodorant, right?
Your fermundas are all something.
No, I'll even use deodorant down there.
No, Jimmy, I'm telling you, you stink. You stink. You smell like dirty crotch, dirty ass, and
Sock
dirty
and ass.
armpits, and dirty socks. You
It does. It
stink.
smells like sock and ass.
When's the last time you did your laundry, Jimmy?
When is the last time?
Same time he bought deodorant.
Yeah.
Right before Halloween.
You have not done laundry since. Now your clothes stink.
I was ready for him to say right before Thanksgiving, and he goes back even a month. Oh my God.
Oh, well, I mean, like, look at these pants. They're still.
Grab him and take him out and wash. RDQ, just grab him.
Halloween 90s.
Just grab him. Grab him. Tommy, grab him.
Grab him and just take him. Let's go. Come on.
Make sure you guys scrub yourself after touching it.
Oh, my.
There they go. I got to go to commercial. I'm serious. And I'm sorry, listeners. We had to do it on the air, but I can tell you right now, 1-877-777-57-4. I bet there's people at the Rock 106 Christmas party. They're going to say the damn thing. Because he smelled like a garbage can.
He's gone, and even his chair stinks.
Yes. I'm serious. He's had a lot of problem here in the last month. Oh, the best. Let's do it.
Hey, kids, what time is it?
The alarm clock screams and there's a cat butt in my face. I don't want to get up, face the human race. I take a shower, I take a pee, I drink some coffee, watch some TV. But nothing seems to keep my eyes open, nothing seems to get my blood flowing. Called up a friend of mine and asked what lights a fire under your behind. He says he spells relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the game's all is, so clean out your ears It's all the morning disaster. They got gas and brass and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature and there's no cure, but they'll be your favorite podcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. It's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. I took my friend's advice to heart. I bought myself an FM radio. Now every weekday starts with a visit from the Morning Disaster Show. And now I spell relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the Morning Disaster. They got gas and breast and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature, but there's no cure, but they'll be your favorite podcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster.
Oh, yes. We are here. Good morning. It's a morning disaster. How you doing? Welcome, everybody. It's Thursday. It is I want to get this out there right now. Last show of the week. We're going to that Monday through Thursday schedule. This is the week we actually started. All right. Monday through Thursday schedule this week. Welcome, everybody. How you doing? I see Nick is here. It's my romper room part of the show. Nick is here. Good morning, Nicholas.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Good.
I'm great.
Good morning, Doran. I see you are here as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I trust you're all in a good mood. Rocky will be in a bit, and no Nikki today. Nikki's off for the rest of the week, she said, and which considering it's, and I actually told her yesterday that we are done with the Fridays. She was very happy. But she said she's off for the rest of the week. I said, that means you're going to take off tomorrow morning. She goes, yeah. I said, all right, well, there you go. So we start the show letting all of you know that we're going to that Monday through Thursday. Now, we're going to start doing a Friday show, but I don't even know who's going to be part of it. And also, it's probably going to be a Patreon or a Twitch or something like that. It's going to be another thing. And I'm still trying to determine all that. All right. So just give me a week or so to figure that out. If you want to call us, the phone number is 815-414-2125. All right. That's if you want to get hold of us, 815-414-2125. On today's show, I do have the Hump Ranger episode that Rocky was talking about yesterday. I have that, and I'm going to play it today. That is the episode that we put together for the Morning Disaster reunion that we did in 2018. And Rocky produced it. And the big thing was, and Doran remembers this, is he didn't tell us that Jim the photographer was part of it.
No, he did not.
He had old clips of Jim, and I think it was from an episode that we never did or something. He had old clips of Jim that he had hung on to, and he wrote the episode around the clips, and it's a whole time travel episode with the Hump Ranger. If you've never heard it, and I don't know, because QLZ never put it up for podcasts, okay? Which we had joint, I didn't put it up because I thought that they would. They never put it up. So it's mine, and we have it. So we're going to play it today because so many people just didn't hear it, because that reunion show was so filled with what are you up to now? We really didn't have much fun. So we're going to make that available today. If you guys want to check it out, you'll be able to do so. We are on Facebook, as always, on the Morning Disaster Facebook feed. on the Ray Lytle. I put it on my actual page today. I put it on the old Ray Lytle Morning Show Facebook feed. It's on there as well. If any of you would like to share it, by all means, go ahead and share it. Let everybody know that we're here and available to talk to as many of them that feel like talking to us. Also, we're on morningdisaster.net. If you're by a laptop, you can listen that way, or a desktop, or even your phone. However, if you're on an Android phone, I just suggest downloading the Android app. Just go there just go to Google Play and download Morning Disaster and download the app, and you can listen to us whenever you want. You've got capability of listening. You've got all our videos in one place. You have all of our podcasts, whatever you want. They're all right there.
One-stop shop.
You can go to Alexa and say, Alexa, play Morning Disaster Network, and it will play it. Or you can tell your Google Play or whatever. So I'm just trying to let everybody know all the different ways you can get us. So there's no excuse for you not to listen, unless you just think we suck, in which case I'm offended. But don't mind us. Anyway, what'd you guys do? What was on yesterday's agenda? Anybody do anything special?
Say personally, I didn't. I just enjoyed my day off from work.
Doran, did you have a doubleheader last night for the little guy?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And
I worked, and then I had to run some errands, and then I came home, changed clothes, packed a cooler, and was at the ballpark from 5:30 until 10:30 last night.
Were you a crazy Karen baseball mom at the game last night, or were you subdued?
I was a little loud, hence my raspy voice this morning. So, no, I was not crazy Karen mom at the baseball game.
No throwing furniture?
Yeah.
I didn't throw any chairs.
You didn't throw any chairs last night?
I'm still catching grief from that from actually a couple of the dads on the team. They're like, holy shit, we don't want to piss her off. But no, it was good. The first game was a little rough. We got beat the first game, but the second game, it was a battle between us and Riverton, and we came away with the win. So it was good. It was good stuff.
And the kids played well, and there's a lot of scoring and good pitching. I hope.
Yeah. Defensively, we had some issues, but we were rattling some bats last night. Really good. But yeah, nobody got overheated. The sun kind of got behind some clouds. We had some thunder a little bit in the beginning that was off to the north, but no, it was.
What's the deal with the weather? What's the deal with the weather this week?
Oh,
it's
God.
literally been 90 some odd degrees, but yet it looks like it's going to rain all the time. And these thunderstorms have started. They are so loud. Yesterday, around the time right before I worked out, my wife came home for lunch. It was thundering so bad. It was super loud. And then I went outside. There was no rain.
No, it was just really. I know exactly what you're talking about because my shop is not that far from you.
Yeah.
It like rattled the building. Like it just like rumbled.
And then
nothing. We got nothing.
I went to go drive to work out, and I got like 3 blocks away from my house, and it had looked like a monsoon had gone through. Everything was wet. I was almost hydroplaning. There was so much water on the road. But yet it wasn't raining.
Yeah. A lot of the parents that came from the north side of Springfield, they couldn't believe it when they got down to Chatham last night. They're like, it just absolutely dumped on the north end. It was, I guess, really got a lot of water up there.
It's crazy.
Nothing. I know, it just scares me because those little cells that pop up like that, that could mean the T word.
We don't want any of that. That's the last thing we need. Did you guys see that they tore down the building over there at Parkway Point?
Yeah.
On the corner of Lindbergh and Veterans. That used to be the Walgreens.
They were doing it last night.
They
I know.
tore it down.
I was over there yesterday shopping at Walmart, and
it's getting closer.
They literally did that in days.
Oh yeah.
That Portillo's is not messing around.
Heck no.
Portillo's could not wait for all of us to taste their delicious hot dogs. They're like, we want you to taste our weenies. We want you. I want my wiener in your mouth as soon as possible, please.
That should be their new slogan.
They're like,
That's your
please.
gag reflex with our weenies.
It's amazing. They're going to tear it down. They've already tore it down, and I guess the plan is to put the new building up as soon as possible. And I thought they were going to use the existing building. Was anyone else under that impression?
I figured it was going to get torn down because that building's just way too big, really, to be a restaurant.
But
it's too much. Yeah.
I know
the square
that
footage is too big.
I will tell you this. I know that it's a fairly new building, right? It's only that Walgreens has only been around for maybe a decade.
Oh, if that. There was something there before the Walgreens that got torn down. I swear that corner is cursed. I swear.
Yeah, what the hell was there? There was something there.
It was a Hardee's, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a Hardee's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
Right. They tore down the Hardee's and built the Walgreens. See, when I first moved to Springfield in '96, we used to go there because there was a Kenny Rogers Roasters. Oh my God, maybe the best restaurant ever.
That's where the Wendy's is now, right?
Yeah, opposite corner.
Yeah,
opposite corner.
Did they tear down? I don't know if they made a new building or if that's the same old building or not, but
No, I think it's the same building. I think they've just renovated it over the years.
they retrofitted it into a Wendy's. But I remember that, and also that's where we would go see the movies. Was at that theater there, and it was a Hardee's, and then they tore it down and they built a Walgreens there. I don't know, maybe within the last 20 years. And so now Portillo's is coming to town, and the first thing they do is they tear it all down. But I got to tell you, it's amazing how fast these guys, how fast they move in tearing that stuff down.
Did you see that the movie theater over there is actually for sale? The Parkway Point 8.
No.
They're selling the movie theater?
They're selling that one. I guess they're ditching it in favor of the 12.
Yeah, but are they selling the theater or are they just selling the lot?
They're selling the whole theater. I saw it on a commercial realty site.
Oh wow!
But
so the whole theater and the parking lot are on the market.
That's AMC, right? So
yeah.
But here's my question: why would AMC sell a theater when the only people who would want to buy a theater would be someone who would like to own a theater? You know what I mean? So why would you sell to your own competition? As long as they don't buy the screens and stuff. If they're just buying the lot, that's one thing.
Now the whole property is for sale.
That's crazy.
That is.
Hey, Nick, let's buy a theater.
Oh, for God, and do what with it?
Well, to show first run movies, so they have some competition for them.
Hell yeah.
And then we'll
Free popcorn.
Yeah. We'll just lower the prices by $1.
There you go.
It's like you can go drive to the 16, have all that, or you can come to Ray and Nick's theater, come by and see the movies, for $1 cheaper.
There's a lot more to it than that, right?
They'll all be overdubbed in Korean. So
Yeah.
that's how we can keep it so cheap.
That's how we pay less. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying, I imagine they just want to sell the building. Because if you're AMC, why would you want? I don't understand why you would welcome competition.
I don't think it's a point of welcoming competition. I think it has a lot to do with them being close to bankruptcy recently.
Yeah.
And there's been rumors of them being bought out.
Well, it never made sense. That the Parkway doesn't make sense being so close to this 16. Because the Showplace 16 is a pretty nice theater.
It's very nice. They renovated the whole
area. That's the only one that's got the IMAX screen now.
Yeah. Now, if you guys remember history, that used to be owned by Carasota's people.
Yeah.
Right.
And
simpler time.
They owned Parkway, the one on MacArthur, which they closed down because of rats.
The Esquire.
Yes. Because there were so many rats in there. That's a true story.
I know it's a
there
true
were
story.
rats
I
in
had
the
one brush up against my ankle.
While you were watching a movie. Oh.
They showed Top Gun on the big screen. That was one of the last ones that they did. And the guy that I was dating at the time, of course, was, you know, eons younger than me and had never seen it. I think he was probably in grade school when it came out or something. But anyway, we went to go see this movie because I said, oh, it's so good on the big screen. And we wound up sitting very close to the aisle, close to the wall. And something brushed my ankle, and at first I was like, "There's no way." And I kind of jumped back, and they were scurrying down the aisle along the wall.
Mm-hmm. You're probably thinking, oh, somebody let a kitten in here.
Well, at first I kind of thought, but no, it was no it was ew.
Yeah, there were rats.
I experienced one.
That's why they shut it down.
I'm sure that has to be it because they were closed for a while and they weren't showing like any mainstream movies.
Yeah, because
they just would open up. Yeah, they would just open up and show like old classic films and like so Top Gun. Like, oh, let's go see Top Gun and yeah.
They also had movies at the mall.
Oh my God!
There was at the mall, which is now it's over there near. It's sort of where Dick's Sporting Goods is, but it's
it was right off that entrance.
Yeah,
where it used to be.
It was that entrance.
White Oak Cinema.
Over there near what else is up? What's that restaurant? They have a burger place over there.
Five Guys.
Five Guys, and
yeah.
I think isn't like Cooper's Hawk over
there.
there
Yeah, Cooper's Hawk or whatever. What's Cooper's Hawk? Isn't that
I think it's a little more upscale.
Restaurant
dining.
And wine.
Yeah.
I've never been there. And so that's where they had the mall movies, and it was all Carasotis. And so Carasotis had their movies, and then Carasotis built the Showplace, the big one. And then here's what happened in Springfield. There was another movie company, and I think it was Sony. Don't quote me on it being Sony, but there was another movie company that started looking around Springfield. They had just put up they had just expanded MacArthur, and they put that new Shields up. And another movie company had started looking over there, and it was Sony, and they were offered a sweet deal to get a bunch of that land, and they were going to put up like a 20 theater cinema or whatever. And they were going to put it right there, which, by the way, that's a fantastic area for a movie theater. If you think about it.
It's a fantastic area for a lot of things right now with all the land that's out there.
Yeah, in Springfield, though, if you think about it, what a fantastic area to put a big 20-plex cinema out there.
Right off the highway?
Yeah, and literally, and it would be, because everything else is sort of, the one on the east side, this which is the Showplace 8, is that what it is?
Yes.
Showplace 8.
Yeah, that's sort of off the highway, but a little bit out of the way. The 16 is a little as the same way. It's off the highway, but it's out of the way. That the one on Shields, if they would have put it up, that's literally right off the highway. And the word got to Carasotis people that Sony was looking. So the rumor is that the Carasotis people are the AM, what is it? The Carasotis people contacted AMC or whatever. Oh, I know what it is. Let me fix the story. It was AMC.
Right.
It was either AMC or Sony was going to build the big 20-plex out there by Shields. And that the story is that Carasotis people contacted AMC and said, hey, why would you want to build all this money to build brand new? Why would you want to pay all this money? Just buy our theaters. We'll sell them to you for cheap. And that's how AMC ended up buying the theater.
Interesting.
And then Sony just backed out when they realized that AMC was going to own all the existing theaters. They're like, oh, screw it, we don't even want to mess with that market, because they weren't in the market. So AMC, which was wanting to come here, they ended up buying the theaters on the cheap from the Carasotis people, and then their thing was, let's just fix them, and then we'll be the top theater in the area. And lo and behold, they have, and they took less money that they're going to take. They took the money that they were going to have from building the 20-plex, and they just fixed up the 16 by putting in the IMAX screens and stuff. And then they eventually fixed up the Showplace 8. And by the way, if you've never been in there, they have like recliners and all kinds of stuff now.
Yeah, those nice little leather recliners.
And then they're like, then they're just like the theater with
and a
the
bar. Oh, it's a bar. There's a bar.
the theater.
They have one in the bigger one now too.
The theater with the rats. They said, let's just throw that in the garbage. You know, that's they tore that one down.
Leveled it.
But
yeah.
they also own Parkway Point, and now that's what Jason was saying. It's up for sale. Parkway Point now is going to be up for sale. But I'm telling you, they're not going to. They're not going to sell the theater, I don't think, because why would the only people that would want to buy the theater would be another company wanting to be their competition. They're not going to pay their competition to have a movie theater.
Well, I think the land itself is worth more than what the building is.
Yeah.
So I think if anybody buys it, it's just going to be another demolition job, like, the Walgreens and.
You know what was popular over there was that sports
You'll
bar.
see another strip mall in there.
What was that? What was the sports bar right across the street from
Damon's?
Damon's, yeah. And
oh my God, I love Damon's.
We would go there, get drunk, play trivia, and then walk over to the AMC to watch The Phantom Menace when it came out.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Oh my God, I did the same thing.
I was there opening night for that.
Oh my God, that would be the thing is we'd go to Damon's, grab a couple appetizers, have a few drinks, play the trivia on the big TV things, and then walk. Yeah, that's the best. I miss that.
It was a good time. Those were really good times, and yeah. So I definitely don't see them. And by the way, what is that Damon's now? It's some sort of
it's a hibachi.
Oh, hibachi.
Yeah, it's hibachi.
Japanese restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
What does it have? Sushi?
They have sushi. They have actually just added some Thai food to their menu. Their hibachi is great. They have a bunch of different different types of wines that you don't normally see around here. They're from overseas. Yeah.
You love the wine.
I love my wine. Love my wine and my sushi.
I once went to Damon's. I accidentally walked in. I used the wrong bathroom.
Oh, for God!
One of my first nights out in Springfield. It's a true story. One of my first nights out, we went to Damon's, or the day that we went to watch football. I wanted to watch. I don't know. It was probably a Cowboys game or something, but I wanted to watch a football game. And somebody said, "Let's go to Damon's." So I got a whole bunch of us to go to Damon's and watch football because Mikey was a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever. One of those teams not local. And I'm a fan of – I've lived in Youngstown, Ohio, which is close to Cleveland, so I've always been a fan of the Cleveland Browns. My wife is from Texas, so a fan of the Cowboys. And, I grew up a Bears fan. So there are different teams that I want to watch. And so we went to Damon's to watch all the games. And I had to pee really bad, so I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I went into the wrong bathroom.
Oh, God.
And I went in. I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? I just walked in, and it didn't dawn on me that there were no stalls or there were no urinals.
So you just used the stall. You
just walked. Be one of them fancy bathrooms.
Yeah, I just walked in. My balls weren't big enough then to dangle in the water. You know what I mean? They weren't stretched out as much as they are now. But so I went in and did my business. And then I was walking out and noticed, I was like, why are there women here in the men's bathroom? Because that's the first thought that goes through my head is, what's wrong with these stupid women? Why are they in the men's room? God,
Right.
what kind of people are these? And
Really?
and finally,
Yeah, that happened to my son just the other day, but he's 11, so
someone came up to me.
I don't know what your excuse would be.
Someone came up to me very kind, and she walked up to me and put her hand on my shoulder. It was sort of like almost as if to say, do me in the bathroom. But she put her hand on my shoulder and said, you're in the wrong restroom, hon.
Well, at least they were kind about it.
Yeah,
And didn't
she-
start screaming
What
at
you
the top
said,
of their
"Hun,"
lungs.
you meant dumbass.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
That was code.
What she means and what she was saying. What she actually meant was, you're an idiot. You're in the wrong bathroom. Go to the men's room. You are a moron.
You're a mess.
Yeah. And so I went across the,
Get out before you get put on a list.
Yeah. Actually, I think I walked into the men's room, but I had already peed in the women's room. So I walked into the men's room and I was like, so I think I washed my hands or something. And then I was like, I don't want anyone to notice that I did that. So I went and washed my hands in the men's room, and then I walked out. And by the time I got to the table, Mikey and Jim and whoever the hell was with us then, they were all laughing. Everyone was just giving me a hard time because I couldn't hide it. Like there was no way around it. I was busted. You're in the wrong restroom, hon. And as it turns out, I did. I thank God I only had to pee. Do you imagine if I had to take a deuce? Oh.
Yeah, I don't think she'd been calling you hon.
I like how you already assume. I like how you assume that it would have stuck so poorly.
The word monster probably would have came out of her mouth.
I like how you just automatically assume that somehow my dumps would smell horrible. I have had.
Well, Ray, we've heard your stories over the last few weeks. You tell us how your wife follows you with the air freshener and everything.
That's because I'm getting old. I think men, as they get older,
they smell worse.
Yeah,
lovely.
I think our intestines start to rot.
Lovely things to look forward to. Yay.
So that's what I think is going on. It certainly didn't. It didn't seem that my feces smelled as badly when I was younger. And that might just be me. I don't know, but
I don't know. I wonder if that is a thing.
I don't know.
That you actually like smell worse. Your movements smell worse the older you get.
I've never ever researched that.
I might have to.
We have to Google that and find out if that's something
we have to do that.
Has to be checked into. But I imagine if you're because it's not just your body, your intestines, your stomach, everything's getting older, right?
Oh, everything breaks down. Not just on the outside, your insides break down as well. So I think that's fact.
Well, babies have their own smell.
Worse the older we get.
Maybe they've always smelled as bad, and our nose is what's breaking down.
No, actually, you lose your sense of smell and taste the older you get.
My shit must smell horrible because if I'm losing my sense of smell,
right.
And yet it's still. Woo. By the way, can I point out that I looked? Rocky has just joined the show, and he came in the middle of this conversation, and the look on his face is that of what in the hell did I just walk into?
Welcome to the Daily Poop Talk, Rocky.
Yeah, I'm saying that it must be horrible now because it smells more intense now than it did in years past. So,
well, babies have their own smell, right?
Yeah, babies smell bad,
but they have their own scent. So a baby smells different. So an older person's probably does too.
Yeah, you're right.
That's really good.
There's got to be something going on that that maybe we don't break things down, properly or too good. Baby smell is disgusting. Oh my God.
Well, that has a lot to do with their diet too at the time. And they don't have the proper cilia in their intestinal tract to properly break down things until a certain age anyway. So
well, don't they develop that from their mother's milk?
Well, yeah. I mean yeah.
Well, there's the problem. Just have guys my age drink mother's milk. We've solved it.
Oh dear God! So you're saying you need to be breastfed, Ray?
Think back. Who was my age right now, and always wanted to drink a woman's breast milk?
Oh God!
Maybe he was onto something. That's all I'm saying.
You might be a lot.
Maybe there was a scientific reasoning that he was so
into the breast milk,
so wanting to try it. Yeah. By the way, I'm getting a message from the one and only Hillbilly Joe.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh no.
Hello, Hillbilly Joe. How you doing?
Pretty good, Mr. Latta. How you doing, buddy?
I just got a message from you saying that you're going to call in. What's going on?
Yeah, well, I've got some bad news for a couple people on your show.
Uh-oh.
Miss Sasquatch, I'm sorry.
Yes.
COVID Nikki, I'm sorry. But here in about 5.5 hours, I will be married.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Today is the day.
Yep. We had to keep it secret because of some stuff.
Yeah.
Until today. And I figured who better yet that I always breaking news to is my good old friend, Mr. Raymond Lytle.
I think that's fantastic. So today is the day you're actually going to get married. What is on the agenda? You guys are you getting married at a courthouse or where are you doing it?
No, actually, my church is putting everything together for us.
There's somebody else wanting to call. I don't even know how I answer that, so forgive me. I'm sorry to whoever I just hung up on because I realize I don't know how to answer a conference.
They're not important. I'm more important than they are.
So they're actually gonna put the wedding on and the reception all in the same place?
No, we're really not going to have a reception
Mm-hmm.
and everything. We're just going to get married and then come back home. And then I'm going to spend a little time with my youngest son and then come back up here to the apartment. We're going to stay to ourselves and watch TV. And then later tonight, I'm going to tie her up and make her a new woman.
What does that mean? You're wait a minute. So you're saying that when you go to consummate the marriage, you're going to have some type of kinky sex?
Later tonight, yeah. I'm going to put a blindfold on her. I'm going to put her ball gag in, tie her hands apart to the bed, tie her feet apart to the bed.
Well,
the rest of the night's going to be history.
I'm just
say, isn't that the most romantic thing you've ever heard, right?
No. I actually remember. I remember after I got married, it was one of the most romantic, days ever. I certainly don't.
Well,
remember,
I'm also going to make her a steak dinner tonight too. So
I certainly don't remember a ball gag or a bondage or whatever the hell you're going to do to that poor woman.
Oh, trust me, she likes it.
So you're going to give her the treat.
I'm giving her a special treat.
You're going to do her just right.
Hey, I do it all the time just right, but this is going to be even better than just right.
Now,
she's not going to be able to walk for about 2 weeks after we get done tonight.
Have you held off? I thought you said you were holding off having sex. Have you held off this entire time, or?
Oh, hell no.
So you have been going.
I mean, we did it a couple times in the past 2 months, but that was it.
So you were.
So she's no longer being punished.
Oh no, she sleeps with me. She's off of punishment now.
So, did you make her write an apology letter, or how did she get off punishment?
No, I made her sleep in her own bed.
Uh-huh. So she could sleep with you tonight.
Oh, she's been sleeping with me for about the past week, maybe 2 weeks.
Congratulations to her. That's.
Well, she said since last month. I don't know. I'm getting old. What can you say?
Well, congratulations, you guys. You're going to be a big marriage today. The big event is finally going to happen. What time is it happening?
2 o'clock.
You sure you don't want to get cleaned off in advance?
No.
We can get you over to Recon and let them,
No, that's why I'm calling now, because our ride's getting ready to come here within the next hour. So, and I still got to get a shower in and finish up a little odds and ends here. That way we don't have to worry about it when we come back in. Be quiet, woman.
Make sure to
you know your place. Hush.
Make sure to scrub your.
I will take this drumstick and shove it up your ass sideways. You don't be quiet.
Make sure to scrub your most sensitive of areas.
That's a good way to start off a marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! That area don't get cleaned.
You want a clean taint for when you get married, Joe.
Oh no! That hasn't been washed in almost a year now.
For God's
It's in the vows.
I'm sure it's in the vows.
It's in the vows.
Yeah, that's good.
Make sure you have a clean taint.
Well,
Why? Congratulations.
Then she might fall in love.
What are you wearing for your wedding?
Me? I'm supposed to be having some dress pants and dress shirt, but if not, I'm wearing my Balmains and a black T-shirt. But it's about the only nicest outfit I have.
Shoot.
And then some, not really, they're not thongs, but they're nice underwear for a change.
So
I was so hoping by thongs he meant flip flops.
yeah,
Okay.
as was I.
Jesus.
Well, see, I wanted to go and get married today in a tutu. Two things stopped me. The girl got rid of the tutu before I got to her,
Right.
and she won't let me wear it.
How big was that girl, for God's sakes, if you were going to fit into a tutu?
Oh, trust me, she's big. She's my ex-fiance, or not ex-fiance, but ex-girlfriend.
So you know how big she is.
Well, yeah, I
But-
should know.
So what is your wife going to wear, or what is your future wife going to wear?
Actually, they got her a wedding dress. She gets to pick her wedding dress out of 3.
Well, you want to look good for her, Joe. I mean, you wear regular pants or some kind of dress pants and a button-down shirt. Put on a tie, for God's sakes.
I don't have ties. That big fat Sal took everything of mine.
I'm saying, but a bunch of guys have ties. They'll loan you. Somebody will loan you a tie.
Nobody I know has ties,
Oh,
Ray.
for heaven's sake. Everyone has
No,
a
I'm-
tie.
I'm serious.
Everyone
Only
has
pe-
a tie.
Only person I know in Taylorville is my son. And he lost all his stuff from his ex-girlfriend.
How do you not have a tie? I mean, come on. Somebody at your church, I'm
Because
sure.
when you get a divorce and your ex-wife want to sit there and be a dumb bitch and take everything that you own, or thinking she took everything that you own, that's how you don't have ties. I used to have 10 different ties.
What
did you ever go to that required you to wear a tie?
What on it? What?
What? Yeah.
What'd she say?
She said, what did you ever go to that would require you to wear a tie? It was a good question.
Oh, I used to go to church every Sunday,
All right.
and I wore a tie
So
every
you mean
Sunday.
no one that goes to your current church has a tie that they can loan you?
I don't know.
I find that
I'm
very
I'm
hard.
actually in a new ward, so I don't know anybody in the new ward.
I'm sure there are people that go to your church that say, you know what?
Well,
we
you
can
know,
borrow."
I don't give a rat's ass about no damn tie.
I'm sure
As
there's
long as I have clothes, that's all that matters.
All right. Well, forgive. I was just hoping that your fiance would have a wonderful wedding as well.
Well, she's having a wonderful wedding because her dream wedding is to have a wedding dress, and she's got that. It's also going to be in a church. She's got that. We got a professional photographer that's going to take the pictures for us for free.
Hey.
She got that. We've got a wedding cake that's being made for us for free. She got that.
Oh wow. So, but you're not going to.
Oh, and then we got the rings that just came in the other day. So we got that.
Are you not going to wear sweatpants, right? Just promise me
No,
you're not
no.
going to wear sweats.
No. And if people don't know what Balmains are, they're retarded. They're nice pants. They're not blue jeans. They're not black jeans, but they're nice pants.
They're called Balmains?
Balmains.
Yes.
Have you heard of those before, Dorn?
I am looking them up.
Yeah, I've never heard of Balmains.
If you actually, I think I have a picture of them on my Facebook.
Is that another word
of
for
me wearing them?
jorts?
Jorts.
I didn't know if it was another word for jorts or what it was.
How do you spell that, HBJ?
How the hell do I know?
I'm sure he's spelling it incorrectly.
I'm
lucky
not
I can
finding
spell
it.
I do.
Hang on a minute.
So he's going
It's
to
ball. It's not bar. I think it's Balmain.
I don't know.
Oh.
I call them Balmains.
Oh,
That's
dear.
what my son calls
Okay.
them.
Oh,
He
dear.
actually bought them for me.
what do they look like?
Well,
They look like pants. Duh.
They look like pants. Yeah, they're pants. Balmain jeans.
So they're
well, they're the kind that they look like they're kind of straight leg. Am I correct? And they're tapered at the ankle, and they kind of have kind of the acid wash look a little bit on the thighs and the knees.
For heaven's sakes. So they're jeans. They're jeans.
They're jeans.
No,
but
they're
tell you
not
what,
jeans. My fiance is going to send you a picture of them, Ray, here in a second.
All right. But I'm
That way you can see them and know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I'm
But then again, she can't spell I do either, so
I'm
what can
looking
you
at
say?
pictures. I'm looking at pictures of them online, Joe, and it says they're Balmain jeans.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're referring
They're
to.
not jeans. They're not jeans. Jeans are blue jeans or black jeans. These are thinner than jeans.
But does it look like a denim material? It looks like it, but it's
Jeggings. They're jeggings.
Yeah,
kind of.
Because
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
yeah, the ones I'm looking at are Balmain's Men Destroyed Slim Fit Motto Jean.
That's what we're on the same page. And then the
Yeah.
women have the high-rise 8-button vintage. But the price tag on these, Hillbilly Joe, I'm going to have to say, they are high-dollar pants.
Yeah, here's a pair of jeans,
So what are we talking, like $5, $6?
like $1,000.
Yeah, there's $1,500 for the men's, $1,400 for the women's.
Who would pay $1,500 for a pair of jeans?
I have no idea.
A dumb shit. That's
Like I said, my son bought me these. He bought him a pair at the same time a few years ago.
Damn.
unbelievable.
Wow.
And you're gonna wear that in a black T-shirt.
Well, if I don't have my dress outfit at the church already,
Yeah.
it's either that or wear shorts and a holy shirt.
Well, just wear your black shirt and,
Yeah,
and
send
a
that
nice
send
pair
that
of
to him.
shorts.
I'd like to see, because Balmain jeans are. It looks like they're for really thin people.
Yeah, well, hey, wait a minute. What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying that they're, they're for younger, thin men.
I'm young. Did you send it?
I guess
Okay, 30 cents.
I guess I just don't see you as being thin.
All right, she just sent you the picture,
Oh, I
Ray.
see. I'm seeing the photo now.
Uh,
I'm seeing you wearing these pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, they're not blue jeans. They're not black jeans. They're not even jeans.
They have
They're pants.
They have a string.
Well, no joke. You tie them. Duh.
They look like sweatpants.
No, that's fine, Ben. No, they're not sweatpants
I'm just
either.
saying that's what they look
They're
like.
not even close to sweatpants.
They look incredibly comfortable.
They look like the pants that 80s rockers.
Hold on,
They
go
look like the pants that 80s rockers would wear in like '98 when they came back with those albums. That, you know what I'm saying? Like Def Leppard, Leppard, Slang era. Bon Jovi had that late '90s album.
Yeah, these
They
are the
would wear
pants
those.
that Def Leppard wore in their 2000 tour.
Right.
All right, then you know what? If they are, then I've got a very expensive pair of pants. Then if Def Leppard worn them.
I'm not saying. Well, I'm just saying that's what they look like. They look like, Aerosmith.
If I don't have my outfit there, this is what I'm wearing.
You've already tried them on.
Yep.
So basically, he looks like a rock star.
I wear them every Friday.
Basically, he looks like what?
Basically, he looks like a rock star.
No, I don't have my long hair no more. Sorry.
Oh, you cut off all your hair?
Well, no, they cut off their hair in the '90s. Remember, like Def Leppard, Metallica, they all had the short hair in the late
That's
'90s.
the whole outfit right there, Ray, that she just sent you, and that's actually how short my hair is now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, your hair is short. Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've had it cut for about probably 3-4 months now.
Those pants are so straight legs. They're so tapered at the bottom. Those are not a pair of jeans that any man over 30 should be wearing.
I'm telling you,
Well,
80s rock star in '98. That's what they look like.
And I look damn good in them.
I'm sure that the guys in Def Leppard thought they looked good too.
Yeah,
They were still trying to be.
They were getting too.
Still trying to fit a cucumber in those pants.
Right.
No, I don't. Trust me, I don't need no cucumber.
You know what these pants need is a cucumber down the leg. Let me just shove that in there. Yeah, you'll be fine, Joe. Yeah, but you don't look that bad. The photo you sent, but you should. You know what? You'd look a lot cooler if you wore a long sleeve button down shirt.
Well, that's what they're supposed to have me at church already.
With a bolo tie.
Yeah, you don't
no.
want to wear a tie with that.
Ask your church members if any of them have a bolo.
You want like a loose scarf.
Oh yeah, there you go. One of those really big, like a Broadway scarf.
No, like an Aerosmith scarf.
Yeah, like one of those guys on Broadway after the show, they put the big scarf on. Or Steven
Okay,
Tyler in
I'm not
Everyday
rich,
Life.
okay? I'm sorry. Maybe I'll take a dirty old towel and put it around my neck and get married like that.
A nice dickie will work.
Then you could hand the scarf to somebody like Elvis after the here, baby. Hand it to the bride's mother. Here, baby.
And then after they say Jews, somebody can come up behind him with a cape like James Brown.
Yeah.
Right. He acts like he can't take it, then all of a sudden throws the cape off and runs down and gets the bride.
That's exactly.
And which one is this that's talking? Is it the fat looking dude that wears a red shirt, or the nerdy looking guy that's up on there too?
That's Rocky. It's Rocky.
Okay, I remembered the name, but I've never seen him. I've never seen him in person.
You could see him on camera if you'd look. That's Rocky.
It's probably the nerdy looking dude then.
I guess, yeah. I guess he's the younger looking of the.
Yeah, that's right.
Like they're in their 90s. I mean, come on.
Younger than what?
Younger than me and Jason.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Oh,
you look.
Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
saying you are younger than Jason, but you look younger than Jason.
Must be the
I mean,
lighting.
Jason could be 28, but he just looks he's been rode hard and put away. Sorry, Jason. You look like you've had some years on you. That's all I'm saying. Well, Joe, congratulations, man. I hope it's a good wedding.
It's going to be. Trust me.
I hope it goes over.
It's a really small wedding.
I really wanted you
We
to
want
go
it that way.
I really wanted you to go to Recon Tex and get clean before your wedding. Today would have been the perfect day.
Well, like I said, we had to do what we had to do. We had to keep it secret from everybody.
You should have let me know yesterday so I could have called Derek and set up for you to go through Recon. Today could have been
the
the day.
only problem is our original ride, which was from my oldest boy. You've never met him. He's from my first marriage. He was going to come down and get us this morning. Well, he went to go try to change his tire and snapped off the two of the posts for the tire.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
So we had all at the last minute at 10:30 last night. Actually, we had to sit there and find a new ride.
So you're getting a ride to the church, which is where your wedding's going to be.
Yep, and back.
Well, congratulations.
And then I'm coming back. I'm buying me a 12-pack of beer, and I'm going to sit here and cook and drink.
We already heard about the ball gag and what you're going to do.
Yeah, we already heard about the after party.
As if marrying
Yeah,
you.
that's later. That's not an after party. That's the party for the party for the party.
As if marrying you wasn't bad enough.
So I thought that was the honeymoon.
Hey. Seriously?
Well, listen, I'm getting more calls. I should probably take one. All right.
All right, buddy. Well, like I said, I just wanted to call in and let you know on that and stuff. I know there are going to be a bunch of people running off at their damn mouths.
Good luck.
Going, all that sad. I feel sorry for her, blah, blah, blah. But I got 2 words for all of them. They can kiss my fat white ass.
That's more than 2 weeks. Thank you, Joe.
There you go.
Congratulations. Now whoever
Congratulations.
was calling hung up. Thank you, Joe.
Hey, let me in
I
soon.
enjoyed math with HBJ.
By the way, Doran, I'm warning everyone right now. Doran is coming on cam because people are asking in the studio, why isn't Doran coming on cam? She's coming on cam right now. But also, I want to point out that I saw that Jamie, listener Jamie, just came in the room.
With his lovely greeting of "Hey, bitches."
Yes. So I just wanted to warn you that you could see someone claiming you look like regrets and bad decisions.
Yes. Well, I have to wear the glasses today because
I think you look
I cut
good.
outside in my contacts, and I slept in my contacts, and I couldn't.
I think you look good even with the glasses. Hello, good morning. You're on the Morning Disaster.
Raymond.
Hey, what's up, Derek? I was just talking about you.
I know, buddy. Hey, we have an opening. We can get him done today.
See, if he had a ride to get there, he's in Taylorville. You guys could have taken him through the car wash, through the detailing center, and cleaned him up really well.
You're right. If I would have known an hour ago, I could have got him from Taylorville because I had guys from Edinburgh to drive in.
You see,
oh man,
I'm telling you, it was on purpose. He didn't want to do it. He knows if he'd have told me, I would have gotten it done.
He said
We
he
would have
wanted
made
to
it
keep
happen.
paint dirty, so
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if he thinks that this is somehow going to get him out of it, but I guarantee you, this is not going to get him out of it.
Oh,
Absolutely not. He'll get washed one way or another.
We'll just consider it your wedding gift, Joe, and that is Recon Tech's washing you properly. And by the way, Derek, he says he claims he hasn't washed his taint. And I don't know why.
We've got something for that.
Oh, good. I just want to make sure that when you guys do it, that special attention is paid to the taint. That's all I want to say. So we can do it after the marriage. Hey, how you guys doing at Recon?
We're doing great over here.
Last time I talked to Michael, he said you guys were you're a little backed up and everything.
Just a little bit. We've hired some extra guys, so we're getting caught back up and getting everybody taken care of.
I love it. You
Oh,
guys,
very
are you
nice.
still offering the steam cleaning and disinfectant?
We are still offering. Yes, sir.
I love it. It is Recon Techs, you guys. And by the way, have you downloaded the app yet?
I did download the app finally.
Yeah, you like it?
I love it.
Awesome. Fantastic, buddy. Listen, you guys do such good work at Recon Techs. Let me plug it. 670-1132. 670-1132. If anybody needs a car detailing, or if you have your own hillbilly and you'd like your own hillbilly to go to the back of a truck and get a washing, you can take them over. They have a hillbilly in the back of the truck special going on at Recon Techs.
That's right. We do.
You get your own hillbilly washed by going to
there you
Recon
go.
Techs. They're at the corner of 9th and Black, 670-1132. Derek, it's great to talk to you, my friend.
Great talking to you, Raymond.
Later. Oh, God. Just fantastic.
I wonder what type of church would even let him in. I was like, what denomination thinks it's,
Was
a pretty liberal church.
Was anybody else freaked out at his description of the wedding night? That was
freaked out,
I was just freaked out
shocked.
that he's getting married.
It was
So everything else.
it was bizarre, was it? I mean, the whole ball gag and
Blindfold and
Yeah.
bondage.
It's the most romantic thing I ever heard, Ray.
who the hell wants to go through that on their wedding day?
I don't
Apparently,
Where does it go from there?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's, then what do you do when you want to get freaky? You have Freaky Friday or whatever.
What are you going to work up to if you start?
Right. What happens 3 years down the road?
If the wedding night starts with bondage and ball gags and that's like you don't give up. I mean,
There'll be blood involved by the end of year one.
where do you go from bondage on the wedding
somebody's
night?
going to get cut.
Good Lord.
By the way, I said he looked like a rock star. He said I look like a nerd.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's terrible.
that's on now.
He's a
I
terrible.
get one with me.
Well, you
This is going to get good.
yeah, I can't wait for you to get to know Hillbilly Joe more. That's all I'll say.
He lovingly calls me Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So,
And if you listen close, he wished COVID on Nikki. And poor Nikki's not even here.
Yeah.
He's wishing COVID on her.
Nikki would just take COVID and spit it out or something. Please, Nikki and COVID. That's like Bush League with her.
She is she is gone for the rest of this week. Nikki will be back next week though, before any rumors get started about poor Nikki. But she did tell me that they went into her mouth and throat. They could not find the growth.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything there. I think that's fantastic.
But
Cancer eater.
But it
She
was
chewed that up and spit it out too.
it was
That's what I'm
there.
saying.
It was there when she went to the whatever doctor visit, and then they went to take it out, and it was gone.
It's like Nikki's, she's been this way, since I've known her. It's like at this point, she's like, come on, you can do better than that. And just.
You're claiming she's laughing off cancer.
Right.
Pretty sure.
That's our Nikki. Hey, by the way, you
God
guys,
love her.
I promised you yesterday, and I actually have it. We started talking about the Hump Ranger episode. Let me give a little bit of a background on it for those that missed it yesterday. A Hump Ranger episode was put together for our reunion show that we did in 2018. And I'm saying that WQLZ never put this out for podcast. I didn't put it out thinking that they were going to put it out. And, of course, it was never put out there. So I wanted to play it today. Here's what's going. Here was the big part of the episode, is that Rocky put it all together and wrote it, and we had no idea what it was about, other than Bodine. When Bodine read his lines, he came over to my house and read from my studio. That's the only knowledge, and I had a couple lines that I read, but that's the only knowledge I had of what was going on in the script.
Yeah, nobody knew anybody else's lines. They only knew their own lines.
But Rocky had Jim the photographer. I don't know if these were lines he cut for an episode that didn't air or what Rocky had Jim the photographer lines from all those years ago that he had hung on to, which I just find brilliant. And we finally had a chance to use them. So in 2018, this was a brand new episode of the Hump Ranger. Brand new episode, which is why I think everybody was so shocked. And if you listen close, you will hear Spider Jones, played by the original portrayer, Jim the photographer, in the Hump Ranger episode. So with
this is the uncensored one too.
Yes, and
this one's never been heard.
This is also the uncensored version, which so that you're not going to hear any beeps in it. So here we go. With no further ado, here is the Hump Ranger, and this is the Back to the Future episode of the Hump Ranger, which, in typical Rocky fashion, includes some sort of time portal or whatever the hell's going. It's a sci-fi episode almost of the Hump Ranger. Give it a listen.
Once again, it's time to journey back to those thrilling days of yesteryear for another exciting adventure with the Hump Ranger.
Whoa. What happened?
Hump Ranger, is that you?
Earl? What happened to you? You look much older.
What happened to you, Hump Ranger? I ain't seen you in 18 years.
18 years? Huh? What? Huh?
Hump Ranger, I'm Spider Jones, baby. You know me.
Of course I know you, Spider. What happened? Why does everything look so different?
Hump Ranger, when you get back to town, I ain't seen you in 18 years.
Why does everyone keep saying that? I just saw you an hour ago. I was in hot pursuit of this criminal. I just went faster and faster and bam! Next thing I know, y'all look older and everything is changed.
Kemoslavi, you must have went into a time warp that sent you 18 years into the future.
Damn, baby.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
What is this huge place with all the lights where the Dead Cow Cafe used to be?
Best whorehouse on the planet.
I runs it, and it's completely legit, baby. Legit.
What's that sign say?
Spider Jones Pleasure Palace. All hoes guaranteed to take a dick up to the hiccup.
I'll vouch for that.
Is all this legal?
It is for me, ever since I got my medical pussy card. Hey, I gotta have it at least 3 times a week or I start getting jittery, doctor says.
Come on with me. Welcome to my establishment.
And so you're the man behind this huge place?
I sure am, baby.
I'm surprised you didn't move up to the big time.
Hey, babies, who needs the big city when I got all these big titties? Hey, Hump Ranger, maybe you'd like what's going on in this room.
Oh, thanks, Earl. I don't even like it when somebody puts their fist in my face.
Well, there's a blast from the past. Hump Ranger.
Town whore? You look so different. What have you been doing?
Well, I've been living on the edge of a broken heart. I don't want to fall. I don't want to crawl, but that's besides the point. Point is, I'm now the town mayor, and I'm just here for my payoff. Where have you been, and why are you wearing that pager?
Yeah, it's 2018. You don't need a pager anymore.
What about my Y2K survival kit?
No.
Well, I guess I don't need these Limp Biscuit tickets.
No.
I guess I don't need this radio.
Hey,
yeah, that one's a keeper.
Throw that out.
I guess I still need my gun and badge, though.
You can't come back after almost 20 years and still be sheriff. In fact, I'll take your gun and badge.
Well, who is sheriff now?
Funny you should ask. It's your little brother. He runs things a little differently. Stop signs are back, organized crime is disassembled, And the sheriff doesn't go around shooting innocent people.
Well, if he's the sheriff, it shouldn't be hard to get my job back.
Sure, Hump Ranger, because that's how it works. I'll give you a ride there. This ought to be good.
Hey, it's Cousin Cornhole with all the hot country hits as we take you back live at concert with country sensation Kevin Perkins.
How y'all doing? I'd like to sing you a song tonight about growing up out in the country, trying to learn about the birds and the bees. It's called Grandma's Secret Wrinkle. I finally figured out that thing of mine was good for more than just a tinkle. And that's when Grandma showed me her secret wrinkle.
Hump Ranger, when did you get back in town?
It's a paradox. I don't have time to discuss. Are you the new sheriff?
Of course. When you disappeared off the face of the earth, the good citizens decided it was time to clean up the town.
Well, I'm back and ready to take over again.
No, I don't think so. We have a different way of handling things now. Take Norman here, for instance. We were just talking about how much I was overjoyed by the way he put the knife down. Not so happy about the stabbing the guy in the face 12 times part. But we concentrate on the positive now. Encourage the good. We greatly discourage the non-good.
That guy's wrist looks like it's worn down to the bone.
He's a repeat offender.
Well, maybe I should just try to go back in time. It's the only way I can be sheriff again.
What will happen next? How will the Hump Ranger get out of this one? Tune in next time when you'll hear the Hump Ranger say,
Whoa. What happened?
Hey, mister, watch where you're going. I'm just a little kid.
Yeah, babies. It's 1975. Get it together.
On the adventures of the Hump Ranger.
Oh, man.
The Hump Ranger. Fantastic.
Work of art.
Oh, my God. Fantastic. That was Is there, could we do more? Is there any reason? Do you have any more Jim the Photographer?
I don't know if I still have all those lines set aside or not.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Because now I'm wondering how the hell the Hump Ranger's going to get back to being sheriff.
Right, yeah, that's a big concern.
Well, I really get into my movies. That was fantastic.
That was great.
I remember
That-
when in
classic work of
2018,
art.
when we played it in 2018, I was so shocked that I was hearing Jim
Oh God, we all were.
that I hardly remember anything else, except there was, you're right, there was some sort of time paradox going on. He was in the future, in the past, or whatever. And that was Nikki. That was Nikki was the town whore, right?
Yeah, that became the mayor. Yeah.
The mayor, yeah. Well done. And Mikey, of course, Mikey, I mean, how do you miss doing Pronto? A great character.
I completely had spaced out once I heard Jim's voice too, and I completely forgot about Grandma's Wrinkle.
Yes, Kevin Perkins. A classic Kevin Perkins song as part of that. Oh,
that's great.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could somehow do another one someday. That would be great.
I was gonna do I'm getting together a podcast, and one of the things I was gonna do, and then I was gonna, you could play it. Was like the backstory on Kevin Perkins.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Behind the music type thing.
The origin story.
Behind the music.
Right.
Oh God.
We had him behind the music on the Archies.
Yes.
Where they were all like, they did the typical thing that the behind the music did. You remember that, where they were all became drug addicts, and Sugar became a song about LSD, and Fat Albert was the producer.
Yes.
Or the guy that came in, the remixer that came in and tried to remix the album.
It was sort of based on who was the guy that held Vanilla Ice out the window, right?
Suge Knight.
Sort of based on Suge Knight, but it was Fat Albert. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I would. Boy, stuff like that would be fantastic.
Well, I hate to leave, but I have to get going. I gotta head to work here shortly.
Well, Jason,
So-
I thank you so much. You look good. Your red contrast with the rest of us, so it looks really well. Have a great Thursday, buddy.
Yep. See you guys
Take
later.
care. We'll see ya.
Oh my God, that Hump Ranger episode was fantastic. It was just fantastic. And just hearing Jim the Photographer for some reason made it. It's still really comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To hear Jimmy is, and it's still, and to have it be new as that was, it just it felt really good. So that was really nice. I was glad we got a chance to play that again. I
hadn't heard that in a couple of years either. I hadn't heard it since we were playing it, in 2018.
It held up well. I'm telling you.
Well, it was only 2 years.
Yeah, but I'm saying it held up well. I mean, it does. It was.
Well, because it's timeless. It's
In the world of K-pop, that's longevity.
That's all the Hump Rangers. All the Hump Ranger episodes are because you never know what time they're taking place in. There's that one, the original Kevin Perkins one, where Kevin Perkins is going around. He's at concert, and his whole thing in concert is people line up and they want to be in the front row so that they could be
women.
So they could be slapped by him.
Yeah, could you play stuff like that still? He had a song about, how sometimes you have to slap them. And then the thing was all his women fans would get in the front row and he'd walk down and slap them. It was a big honor.
In the middle of and so one of the episodes of the Hump Ranger had Kevin Perkins going down the stage just slapping women. And one of the women was Hump Ranger's girlfriend or wife. I can't remember the whole scenario, but somehow Hump Ranger and Pronto became involved with Kevin Perkins. And
Kevin Perkins stole Hump Ranger's girlfriend.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Which was really his mother.
Yeah.
But that was a different episode.
In the baby episode, Hump Ranger, that's when Kevin Perkins is the father of the baby, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so timeless.
We had story arcs with the episodes of the Hump Ranger.
I remember we did, and this is like 96, 97, 98. And then when you eventually went and you went across the hall and started doing that show down the hall, but you weren't full-time producing anymore, but you were still doing stuff for the show. I brought back the Hump Ranger, and I was writing them. They weren't anywhere near as good as what you were doing, but
oh no.
But I'm saying it was no. But I'm saying it was they were set in. They were more modern, but even now it still seems timeless. Like you never know what time of.
Right. Well, I think it started off in the Old West, and then it just became, like present day or whatever.
Yes.
Like the first couple episodes were horses and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you never really could. The era is timeless that the Hump Ranger sits.
Yeah.
Which is great. So I'm saying it would be really easy to bring back. Now getting Bodine to voice stuff again.
He takes a long time to edit. You have to do each word.
It's not a dramatic pause.
But but Bodine literally works across the street from where I live. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the company that he works for, my backyard faces his building, and so in order for him to voice it, all I got to do is send him a message, say, "Hey, swing by my house after you get off work," and he swings by and he goes into my studio and cuts his lines and leaves. So that's how easy it was when we recorded that thing in 2018. So
oh yeah,
I imagine it wouldn't be that hard for him to record one today. So if you ever feel the urge to cut another one, just let me know.
You'll be the first to know.
But everybody else didn't they just record it in their cell phones or whatever and send it to you?
Yeah, they recorded on their phones and sent it to me.
Technology, you gotta love it.
Was fantastic.
So nobody knew anybody else's lines.
Yeah, except I knew some of Bodine's because I had to.
Yeah, you can figure out when somebody's line is. I don't even like it when somebody puts their fist in my face.
I knew something was coming then. Yeah, fantastic. I'd love to hear how the Hump Ranger gets back. To now I'm thinking too much of it. I would love to hear how the Hump Ranger gets back to the rest of them to become sheriff again.
Right.
And to once again hear how
when Dallas came back.
Well, I'd love to hear how you would include Spider Jones.
JR's got to get his power back.
I'd love to hear.
Oh, that.
I'd love to hear where the story arc goes to let him somehow fix the time paradox and to where
Right.
it's no longer. But then I'm wondering, would that create an alternate universe? I'm just wondering.
No, because he's not staying where he was. He's time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not a big science fiction person, but
I'm saying that
alternate
everything-
universes are only created when there's somebody in the same place twice.
But if would that mean that the existence with the town whore becoming mayor wouldn't have happened, or still happening and just not in the universe? That it
Oh,
was?
right, because Hump Ranger would be in 1975 and not the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean, I know I'm putting way too
Oh,
Right.
My head.
I know I'm putting way too much thought into a Hump Ranger episode. But I mean, Nick, are you hearing this? What would you think it'd be two different timelines, or he's got to be a fan of science fiction?
I'm trying to work it out in my head on the science of it.
Yeah, like where would it be?
I'm looking back at Back to the Future, and then I'm looking at Avengers Endgame and what their version of time travel is, and which one would be the more appropriate.
And then you heard Rocky say that he never watches any of that stuff. So it was.
Well, here's the thing: we don't know what happened in 1975, so right now it's all up in the air.
And we know that at one. All I know is at one point he had a pager.
Well, that was in the 90s. That was present day at the time.
Yeah. Because 18 years ago would imply, yeah, because it was 2000. So 2000 is when he left, is when the time travel happened. He went from 2000 to 2018, and then he tried to go back, and he went from 2018 to 1975.
75. Ooh, that's a huge jump.
So as of this point, he's stuck in 1975. So Rocky, the challenge is you now got to bring him back to present day.
Right. Well, you would have to, because there wouldn't be funny if Spider Jones and Earl and all that were kids.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be.
We'd have to find a way for him to be back to 2000.
It'd become a Little Rascals episode.
Oh God.
So it is something it's something to look forward to. But by the way,
Sure.
Brent is saying, as soon as Hump Ranger goes back in time and changes things, the future universes won't exist. Thank you, Brent. But I'm saying that maybe it sets up a parallel universe and it would exist. That's all I'm saying. Perhaps he could jump from universe to universe. Who knew that the Hump Ranger was going to be the one that would discover?
Oh my God.
That would somehow prove Einstein's theory of parallel universes.
And not tell anybody.
Yeah.
They not even realize it.
Because he has
stumbled across it. Because he just doesn't know.
That's the end of the episode. That's the thing, is that the Hump Ranger is not the least bit in awe of what he's just done. He has just time traveled.
Right.
And by the
No.
way, there's no explanation for the time travel other than I was just driving fast after this criminal, and boom, I'm here. I like how you totally bypassed any explanation.
Well, why, people don't want to hear that anyway. I mean, yeah. Cut to the whorehouse.
So I would
Gonna
like
have
to
time
hear-
to explain.
I would like to hear how you're going to find Hump Ranger and put him back to where he belongs.
This has started out an idea. It has become an assignment.
Yeah. That's
Same
how it
old
works.
Ray.
That's how it works with Ray.
I'm not trying to give an assignment. I'm just asking questions.
No.
Oh, I see in the chat room. Bubba says Ray's giving Rocky homework. No, I'm not. I'm having a conversation. My mind is boggled by this. So this is just how I work. The rest of the day, this will bother me. That's
Well,
all.
this will be sometime after the, like I said, the backstory of Kevin Perkins.
Yes.
And I'm also working on a soul song.
Oh, that would be good.
Kevin Perkins, I would love to hear it.
Oh.
So that's all I'm asking is how would it happen? Who knew that Hump Ranger was all the time I thought Hump Ranger was simply action adventure, and it's been sci-fi this whole time.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's like when I can't even think of an example of when something hopped genres. It's like halfway through From Dusk to Dawn.
Oh, I like Dust to Dawn. I actually watched it not that long ago. All I know is that I loved hearing Jim the Photographer. I don't know how you held on to that stuff, but the Jim the Photographer was fantastic.
Yeah, that was obviously the hardest part, is trying to find lines that, fit or whatever.
I think that's great. That was just fantastic. Anyway, thanks for that. And I'm glad I actually played it, because I always say stuff and then we never follow through. I actually followed through, so I'm really proud of myself.
Because I emailed it to you.
I was going to say it's because Rocky held you accountable. He sent it to you.
Well, yeah,
I knew that was
I
coming.
know, but
I knew it.
But still, I mean, I know how I am. There's been times where that's happened and I haven't played.
We're still waiting for Sean on the hardwood floor.
By the way, I spent a half hour yesterday looking for that stupid clip and could not find it.
You still with him, still couldn't find it.
I have it. I do have it somewhere. I just couldn't find it.
Raymond, you have to get
And
organized.
it's so loud. It's offensively loud. There's no way that should have come from a human being. All I could think of is I had an external hard drive that had a bunch of audio on it that went bad. And all I could think of is perhaps it was on there because I couldn't find it.
A lot of people have that now, where they just have like a closet or something where they just have here's our wedding, hard drive. Here's our kids growing up hard drive. I don't think these work anymore. We couldn't get this one to work. Here's an old computer with some old photos of my mom on it. And everybody just has all these various.
Everywhere.
I was talking to my wife yesterday and I said, hey, are those VCR tapes still in the garage? I said, because I was talking on the air today, and Rocky, and by the way, even though it's internet, I still say we were on the air. I told my wife, I said, we were on the air today, and Rocky said that he could take all those Morning Disaster tapes and convert them to video. And my wife goes, I was moving stuff around the garage last week and saw them. So the VCR tape still exists. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to find time this afternoon, Rocky, or tomorrow to go into the garage and look for them and maybe package some up and send them to you.
Yeah, I think people would really like to see video. I mean, I noticed that every time just the shortest clip of something, if somebody's got like a 25-second clip that they just somehow got on video of us back in the 90s, it goes online, it gets, thousands and thousands of views, So if we could get something that was like a full thing, put it together like a package thing, make something, nice.
I found that episode of Shaner smashing Jim's car, right? That was on YouTube.
And that has, oh my God, the views on that.
Yeah,
is
so
amazing.
But I'm telling you, the thing on the videotapes that I have is there was a kid who was going to college, and it was either Illinois College or McMurray College or McKendree, whatever the hell is it? What is it in Decatur? Milliken. The kid was going to school and he was going for video, and he put together a documentary about the Morning Disaster, and he gave me a copy of it. It's
yeah, you were telling about that. I definitely want to see that.
It's not great, but this is a 19-year-old kid that was putting together, and it's not great, but it's pretty cool to look at, and I haven't seen it for probably 20 years, but I know that's one of the videos that I have.
You take footage from that and you add it with the other stuff, and you make your own, I mean the universal you. I take that and put it with other things.
All I do is take credit for it. No,
right.
I'm saying that I will get those tapes and I will send them to you. And then I know there was one out there that was called RTQ, and it was either RTQ and Bodine or RTQ and Jim's Big Gay Dance Party. And I don't even remember.
Oh my God.
I don't remember what the hell that possibly could be.
Well, that was always a take on the other radio station's Big Dance Wednesday or whatever.
Dance Wednesday that they used to have.
So I don't know if it's them dancing or what the hell it is.
So it's probably some sort of dig against the top 40 station. And but I just have the one tape that has the Daytona trip, which is about, you know, only about 3 minutes, and then, like I said yesterday, Jim with the pie eating, and then Jim at Deja Vu.
I would like to see anything with Jim. I'd love to see it. So, yeah, I promise.
The Jim at Deja Vu is so strange because somebody, I don't know, he's on stage at Deja Vu with the whole lights and everything, and he's dancing in his white thing. I think it has the thing that folds out. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, he's on stage. It's all lit like a, you know, a normal show, but it's a camera on a tripod. Somebody's just got this steady. So the whole thing is him. You don't see any audience. You don't see anybody else. So it looks like Jim is giving this weird, intimate, like, dance for you.
Like he's
because
alone.
that's what, I mean, it looks like one of those videos you sit and watch, you know, like with a woman dancing or whatever.
He's alone.
You don't hear any cheering. You don't hear, the sound is really weird. It's like all you hear is, it's just this really weird looking video.
I would love to watch that. And maybe put like a Jim song under it.
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, they would be part of a whole production.
But yeah, I will go through my videos and I'll find them first and then send off, and hopefully they're still good. But, you know, it's been 100 and some odd degrees.
Yeah, if you keep them stored in a place where it's 100 degrees and then it's 30 degrees and then.
And my fear is they're probably ruined over time, but I do want to, I'll get them to you so you can hopefully do something with them.
Cool.
And I know I have.
And that's another thing coming soon.
I have Itchy Pickle shows and Snapper shows, and I have so much stuff that I just got to do something with. So I promise I'll go out there and look.
Well, you know what I can do with an Itchy Pickles concert.
Yeah.
Remember the time that you told me to put some cheering behind this?
But you went and found we were talking about this not that long ago. And didn't you get it from an album or something?
Yeah, I got it from Ted Nugent's great live Gonzos.
Yes.
So it was in a stadium, and you were supposed to be at the atrium.
And we were playing somewhere like that, and so the audience is way. It would have never sounded like that. It just,
like a baseball stadium.
It never would have sounded like that.
Playing at a stadium.
And he gave that to me, and I think I played it.
Fantastic.
I played it once or twice, or whatever, and I'm like, this is just people. There's no way people are gonna think.
Because you had the atrium the night before, but the audience wasn't mic'd, so the audience was really excited and cheering, but you couldn't hear any of it.
Yes.
So you said just take some audience from something. So I got the.
Like
600,000 people.
1,000-seat stadium or something. Oh my God! I probably still have that somewhere. But yeah,
everybody have a good weekend.
Yeah, hey, take care. Go cut some hair.
Cutting hair.
Talk to you Monday.
All right.
And Doran did not look like a hot mess today. I didn't see any comments.
I know who looks like a hot mess. I've been looking like a hot mess, and I need to. I think I need to have Doran cut my hair.
What do you What have you been spending your days doing?
Well, I was going to go off on a haircutting tangent, but I've been.
No, but I mean, how do you spend your days doing what?
Different things. I mean, my mom is in the middle of dementia, so I spend time with her. I'm glad I get to do that now. I have been, like I said, doing kind of what you were talking about. I've been going through old tapes and going through old boxes of stuff and digitizing stuff, throwing stuff out, making a lot of room, downsizing, cleaning the house, power washing the house, painting.
You power wash the house?
Well, I, scrub the whole, outside of the house. And, I've been learning about cannabis and all the different strains and all the different names and the terpenes and stuff like that. I just got certified in the state of Illinois.
What is your preference of cannabis? Are you a indica or a sativa guy? I think when I tried, because you know me, I don't like it because when I was younger, I tried it. I think I tried sativa, and that just didn't, for whatever reason, did not work with me. But I think I need to try, and I've been talking to like listeners like Bubba, who tells me indica is the way to go. And my daughter does. I think she does indica. My daughter has an illness, and she's had a medical marijuana card for a while. And
oh my God, Jim the photographer is laughing at you.
Oh yeah,
somewhere right now.
Trust me, if Jim was alive, he would find excuses.
That is the best. Your daughter has a medical marijuana card.
Medical card, yeah.
I remember all the grief you used to give me and Jim. Your daughter, who I still picture as a 3-year-old, has a medical marijuana card. This little girl that's, what is she, 6 now?
No, my daughter is 8. My daughter's 18 years old.
Wow.
And she's had a medical marijuana card since she turned 18, which would have been last November.
That, I thought, wow, now that's an 18th birthday right there.
And but I think she smokes indica.
Woo! Indica is what you do. Well, mostly that mixes the two together. Mostly what what most people do. And there's dominant, either sativa dominant or indica dominant. But very rarely will people do. Well, I don't know about medical. Maybe medical's different. But indica is more of like
it's all the same stuff. It's just I think medical, you don't pay taxes.
Well, right, but there's certain things like indica. Is like a body high. It's like for pain. It's like to put you kind of in a more of a sleepy kind of sleep aid type thing. Sativa is the one where you're up and giggly and want to have a good time and that kind of thing.
See, that's
so mostly people will do the hybrid in between somewhere.
When I was younger, I tried it and I just got paranoid and I didn't like it. However, there was one time that I tried it and I actually liked it because I was really mellow and stuff. And Bubba, who's in the chat room, his name is Chris Rhodes, he's in the chat room and he tells me that was the indica. So he says that he'll take indica and Hostess products or something and just veg out, which scares me because the last thing I need to do is eat anything,
I don't know. I think the sativas, munchies can go either way, but the indica is where you just sink into the couch, like it'll watch a 3-hour, marathon of something.
That's
the
my life.
Is the one where you're like, oh, cool, hey, and laughing and whatever.
Which one would you take before, if you're active and you want to work out and stuff? Do people take pot before they work out? I don't know.
Then you would definitely do sativa for that. You would do probably fully sativa.
So that's like my life is I do the show. Like yesterday I did the show, and then right after the show I went and I worked out. And then I came home from working out and started looking for that stupid Sean Bullitt fart clip and had to do that. And then I have a website that I'm designing. I've had a website that is getting a GT metric score of like an F, and I had to somehow bring it down to, it had to load faster, and I had to bring that down. So I was working on that all day yesterday. But I mean, I would like some kind of weed that I could do to focus me. You know what I mean? To where I'm not wanting to do 8,000 things at once, to where I could just concentrate on one thing and get it done. I don't know which weed that is. It'd be nice to try that.
Yeah, it would be like a hybrid. It would be like something in between, but probably sativa dominant.
To where and I should.
But there's all kinds of different strains, though. I mean, that's the thing, and where we are now with the pandemic, it's you just take what you can kind of get. I mean, it used to be, you could look for certain strains and whatever, but now everybody's down to like 2 or 3.
How is the pandemic affecting our legal marijuana supply?
It's harder to grow and harvest and all that because of all the social distancing and all of that. It's harder to transport. It's just like anything else. It's like any other product that has to be grown or has to be. You know, that isn't like man-made.
Well, in St. Louis, they go to where? They go to Granite City is where everybody gets it? Or Collinsville or whatever? Where do they have it?
Collinsville, Sauget just opened one.
Because in Springfield, we have the dispensary. And I think even during the pandemic, it still remained pretty busy.
It's busy. That's the thing. And that's another thing. Everybody's just hanging out, getting high at home because nobody's going to work. You know, even the people that are working from home. So that's why you just have you have a smaller supply left. Stuff is sold out.
It is. It's affecting just from people smoking too much.
But to go to, that's part of it. And to go to, well, it was a booming thing anyway. They weren't ready for it. Everybody knew, the smart people that were paying attention knew that this was going to be huge. I was 42nd in line January 1st at the Collinsville facility. I waited in line for, I think, 4.5 hours. I got in line at 4:20. I wanted to make sure I did that. They opened at 10.
You actually got in line at 4:20.
I got in line at 4:20. They opened at 10. There were thousands of people in line. There were about three security guards. There were about 3 security guards. This went on for hours and hours and hours on New Year's Day. No fights. Obviously no arrests, no problems, no line cutting, nobody being obnoxious. I mean, when have you seen, thousands and thousands of people lined up for something and no issues?
It's because they were going to just get high. And there was nobody bitching about the prices then either. Now, of course.
Yeah, they just went up again. Taxes just went up again.
People are.
But yeah, that's a lot of what I've been doing is studying on that. Maybe try to get more into that industry. It's obviously something that's booming. You
want to get into that? You want to someday run a dispensary or something?
Either that or a growing thing. I don't know if I want to really work with the public all that much. But yeah, I've been educating myself. Like I said, I got certified. I took classes.
Good for you.
And so I've got kind of a schedule month by month. So this month, I'm working on my creative stuff. Like I said, I want to do like a podcast of all that production stuff I used to do. So that's
incredible.
Yeah, I'll definitely have some of that stuff for you to play, and you can premiere it. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. And by the way, I just want to thank you. This week has been so fun. I think it's because you have joined the show. It's been really a fun week.
It's definitely been fun for me. I should have done this earlier. I guess I never really thought about it. I'm still not used to the fact that you can just jump on somebody's show. I feel like I need to talk to a PD and get it set up. And
I got to tell you, I had, if this is honest, I had no idea that you were unemployed. Until you reached out to me, I had no idea. You figured Terry would have told me, or somebody would have told me. Who I've been
well, Terry doesn't really, he doesn't say anything. He probably would think that if I did, I would tell you or something. He doesn't want to say something that I might not want out there. But we're going back to what we were originally talking about when I first came back a couple days ago. The whole thing with that happening was I immediately stopped the Facebook. So it's not like I went on Facebook and did that whole vague, explaining thing, or, put some post up that, what does that mean? Did he get fired? I didn't do any of that. I just was stayed off of Facebook for what ended up being 60 days. Wow. So I really didn't talk to anybody, which, by the way, that's what I heard, that you were doing that and purging, unfriending people and all that. And I was doing the same thing. It's like
the greatest thing I did, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So nice to not see. I was so sick of seeing people talking about I would not wear a mask, Governor Prickster, and all this stuff. I'm so glad I don't see that crap anymore because I started purging those people. I'm so glad I don't see support for the Confederate flag nonstop and whatever. I just got rid of it, and I do feel better having done it. Now it's like, I know it sounds kind of egomaniacal, but I like to be friends with people who are fans of the show because I like talking about the show. I don't want to come across as real as an egomaniac because I know I am, but
Well, we're a bit late for that.
yeah, I don't want to come across as being too egomaniacal, but it's a lot better when someone says, "Hey, I noticed Rocky's back on the show. How did that happen?" That's a lot more fun a conversation.
He sent a message, and I responded to it.
I said, "Sure."
That's the thing. I'm so used to I gotta do. Well, let me fit you in on that. We can get you in from 7:45 to 8:02, and all that kind of stuff. I'm just so not used to. Yeah, you can just send somebody a message and be on there.
It's literally, I'll send you a pasted copy of this thing, and you literally click a button and you're on with us. That's
right.
But no, I'd rather have a conversation like that than have someone going, "Oh, I can't believe these people are bitching about the Confederate flag. What are your thoughts?" No, I don't want to talk about something.
Yeah.
So it's nice to talk about things that you really enjoy. So I will talk about
like marijuana and
yes. Well, I'm interested in marijuana. I am interested in it. Like, I said my daughter has a medical marijuana card. My daughter always says, "Hey, if you want to smoke if you want to try some, just let me know." She always, my daughter says, "If you want to try some, just let me know. I'll let you try it."
Right.
So, but I never try it because I don't know. I guess it's okay if I would smoke some of the medical stuff, right?
Well,
I don't know if they're, this is legit. I honestly don't know what, I don't want to hurt.
There's so many fine lines still. A medical patient's not supposed to share their marijuana.
And technically she hasn't. But she has,
as far as anyone knows.
No, but I don't know what she's doing with her friends, but I know that she has told me, "Hey, if you want to try some, let me know." And I just haven't said anything because I don't know what's allowed and what isn't. I certainly don't want to get her in trouble, and
No, you would basically have to go to a dispensary and
it's not
get
against
some.
It's not against smoke it.
The Collinsville dispensary is the same company as the Springfield one. And I know in Collinsville, it's really convoluted now with the COVID-19. In order to get marijuana, you used to walk into the dispensary, show your ID, wait in line, pick out what you buy it, whatever. Now you have to, you had the option of ordering online. Now you have to order online. There's no other way. You have to pre-order online. The parking lot is only open to medical patients.
Oh, wow.
So instead of driving to the facility, you have to drive to Gateway Fun Park, which is this big kids, climbing and ball throw, fun jump house, whatever, place that's now closed because of COVID-19. You have to drive to the parking lot of that where they've got it all, with people directing traffic and everything. Then a shuttle bus takes you to the dispensary. You wait in line there, go through, have to have a mask on, 6 feet apart, all that stuff. They've got it marked off on the parking lot and on the
going on a shuttle. It's like you're going to the airport, but you're going to go buy pot.
The shuttle has got every time Bob Marley. Doesn't matter what shuttle.
In Springfield, I think we have it a little more.
Well, it's all about the parking lot. That's
by the way, Bubba's in the chat room saying, yes, medical patients can gift weed. They just cannot sell it.
Oh,
so
okay.
It would be okay. So he says it's okay if I try some.
Yeah, there's all these weird little laws that are different. And then Illinois, you've got different states. Illinois is different. For instance, like in Colorado, you can go to this was before COVID-19. You go to the dispensary, you can see them putting the marijuana in the thing. And they're real. In Illinois, all that comes sealed. The people that work in the dispensary don't even touch the marijuana; they just touch the container.
No,
those are different things in different states.
What about the baked goods and stuff? They have medical. Bubba, let me ask you, since you go to the one here in Springfield, do they have brownies and all that stuff, chocolate and brownies and stuff? Do they have all that stuff pre-made in the dispensary? Where you just go buy it, or do they just sell the butter? Is it the butter that they put it in? The butter or whatever that you make it yourself. I'm just wondering how that stuff works.
Are you asking me?
No, I was asking Bubba, because I know he's in Springfield and he he'll go to the one here, and I was just asking if they have brownies that are pre-made, or if they just sell the stuff to make them. Because you guys have seen me. I like brownies.
Well, I mean, I can answer that. They don't sell stuff to make them. They have them pre-made. They don't have brownies. They usually have like cookies.
So they have.
I don't know if who you're talking to is talking back or you're reading their text.
No, I was going to read his text, but I'll just find.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, so they have all these like cookies, and a lot of it's gummy bears type stuff. But no, they don't sell like ingredients. But I mean, when you start getting into it, learning more about it, every month they're coming out with taco seasoning now. I mean, if you're as old as I am, I think you just look at some of this stuff and I'm just blown away. Just like 10 years ago.
They have cannabis taco seasoning.
Yes.
For your Taco Tuesday.
I'll give you a story I've never told before. I've never said before. 8 years ago, I think it was 8 years ago, something like that. 10 years ago, I was arrested because I was in a rent-a-car that had bad plates on it. Not my fault at all. It was the rental-car company put the wrong plates on my car. So I was pulled over. They thought I was a drug dealer. The guy had his hand on his gun. I've never been pulled over like that before, telling me to put my hands on the steering wheel and shit like that because I was driving around with van plates on a car.
Oh, wow.
But again, not my fault. I rented the car. And from a very reputable company, by the way. Not like mom and pops, whatever.
So this is like a Hertz type situation. It wasn't
It was a Hertz type, yes.
Yeah.
It was not Hertz.
But yeah.
And so we were coming back from vacation in Michigan. We were partying in Michigan. So I had a little bit of weed left. And grains left. I basically brought back the hitter box is what I brought back. And they found that. And I went to jail, mug shot, handcuffed.
Really?
Put in the back of the squad car, locked up.
Was this Illinois?
In Pontiac, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
And here we are now with marijuana taco seasoning.
But
I'm just a blown away sometimes still.
Were you convicted, or was that just paying a fine eventually, or how the hell did?
No, I had to go back to Pontiac, Illinois, and go to court.
Oh my God.
And get a lawyer and all that stuff.
Did it?
And the only thing the lawyer ended up doing was they tried to charge me with the box and the implement separate. And it's like the lawyer convinced the judge and all of his magic that no, those two things go together. It's the same.
So it's only one charge instead of
instead of two.
And now it's expunged.
Yeah, well, it was anyway. I mean, I had probation or something, and then if I didn't get arrested, it would be wiped off, and I didn't get arrested. So
I'll be damned.
But yeah, I was afraid I was going to lose my job, and
Now it's they practice nothing.
No, I mean they're
which seems right. Listen,
I'm getting text messages talking about, hey, the new lemon diesel's in. What? From like a business. I'm certified from the state of Illinois to sell cannabis now.
I've been around it my entire life. I've been playing in bands and being in radio. I have been offered so much weed in my entire life, but because I had a bad experience when I was young, I never did it. Now that it's legal, I am interested in trying it. And I know I keep saying I will, but I'm actually going to try it. I mean, now listen, I don't have to work again until Monday morning.
My whole weed thing started because I don't like beer. I think I'm actually all these years. I think I'm actually allergic to beer. Somebody was telling me all these things.
You might be, because
I think I am.
When you drank on Thanksgiving Eve and we would go out, you would have such issues that it did seem you were allergic to it. I mean, that's just.
Well, somebody would always try to make me drink a beer because it was always free. I drink whiskey and all that other stuff all night. That doesn't, whatever. I've done that for years, but whatever it is in beer, I just can't drink it. And so you guys, we would all go out, or the rock people would, whoever go out, everybody would be having beer. I don't want to sit there and drink mixed drinks all night. So that's why I would go out in the parking lot and I'd be great. I wouldn't need, beer or whatever.
Especially when Jim the Photographer was on the show.
Yeah. Well, wow. That's what, I mean.
Hey, Rocky, come on out in the parking lot with me.
We were hanging out all the time.
We could talk about something. And by the way, I know he smoked during the show. He claims he didn't smoke during the show. I know there were times he went out and smoked during the show.
What do you mean during the show?
Yeah, like when he would leave the studio, he would walk out back. I know he was taking one hits out back.
Oh, I don't know. I probably would have been, because it was always first thing after the show. I know that. I know that.
Yeah, as soon as
I don't know about during the
as,
show.
As soon as I would leave the meeting, he would be on
Right.
the picnic table going, "Hey, Rocket, you want a hit?"
Yeah.
I do think about Jim a lot. I'm like, he would have loved to have been alive when
He would love to know that you have a daughter that has a medical marijuana card, and you're maybe thinking about getting some weed off your daughter. He would love that.
he smoked weed with my father-in-law. My father-in-law would come to town from Texas, and Jimmy would go golfing with him.
Right.
They would just smoke weed.
That's what I mean. Right. Yeah. That's how you make friends.
In fact, they didn't want me to be around because they knew I didn't smoke it, which I never, people smoked around me all the time. I mean, I played in bands, and the guys that I played with bands with, they smoked it all the time. It's just I didn't smoke it. I was never
Communal thing.
I've never been anti-pot. It's just I did.
Oh, what?
No, I've never been anti-pot. I've just been anti-smoking it because sativa made me paranoid, and then I didn't feel right with it. So now I want to try this indica, and I'm sure that I'll like it a lot. My fear is that I'll like it so much to where I open up a package of Twinkies and eat all of them, and I've been losing weight, and I'd hate to blow the diet.
I think that's more sativa because you're up and active and wanting to do stuff and whatever when you're on when you're on sativa, when you've smoked there. But yeah, I mean, and different methods. Different people react differently to smoking or eating. Smoking is more about eating edibles more about your liver.
So I'll smoke my daughter next time she offers me some. I'll smoke some and veg out. I'll try it. Bubba's in the chat room. He's been talking in the chat room the whole time, and he's saying he and Jim would sneak out during pool parties and smoke. I know Jimmy was doing that stuff, but I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, we would do that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it would be the homeowner.
The people that would invite us to their house for a pool party, you're saying
Right.
they would smoke.
And then they'd have a story that, oh, I smoked pot with Jim the photographer.
Oh,
wow, man.
I imagine there's a bunch of people that have that story.
It's like my Willie Nelson bus story, the Illinois State Fair.
Who's the most famous person you smoke pot with?
Oh, wow. Ryan Adams, maybe? I don't know. Kid Rock? Kid Rock, probably.
Oh, you smoked with Kid Rock?
And it was awful. I don't know if he gave me that to be funny, and he kept calling me upstart.
Really?
I don't know. Dude, it's weird.
I don't even know what that would mean.
I don't know.
I'll be damned. But you said Ryan. I like Ryan Adams. He would have been kind of cool.
Ryan Adams was wild, man. He came to John Carroll's house. Remember Crash?
Yeah.
We were at his apartment with Ryan Adams, and then they all went out to a bar.
I'll be damned.
This was obviously before he was popular and charged and all that stuff.
See, you have those stories. I don't have any of those stories. I have a Joan Jett story where one time I took a date to a Joan Jett. I think I told you this before, and you got a big kick out of it. I took a date to a Joan Jett concert in 1987 or 88. And I was invited backstage, and I thought I was a punk. I was barely, I think I was 19. And I thought I was so cool.
How did you get, were you in college radio then, or?
I was working at YMG. I was doing college radios at LCA in Godfrey, and then I was also working at WYMG.
Okay, yeah.
So I was going back between.
I did the same thing with QLZ and LCA.
I was going back and forth, and so they invited me to this. I got an invite through the radio station to this concert, and then they came up to us and invited us backstage. And I still remember telling the girl how it's because I'm on the radio that I got this, and I'm practically bragging. Here was the embarrassing part. We go backstage, and Joan Jett comes up and introduces herself to us. And I start to figure out that we were not invited backstage because of me. We were not invited backstage because I was some good-looking young radio guy. We were invited backstage because the girl that I took to the concert was smoking hot, and she dressed smoking hot. And it became obvious when Joan Jett spent 4 seconds having a conversation with me and the rest of the time with her arm around my date having a conversation with her, it became obvious that I was like, holy shit, I have nothing to do with this. And that's also when I found out a lot of interesting things about Joan Jett that weren't public at the time.
Probably thought, well, what's this hot woman doing with this guy? That's probably her brother or something, so I can get her.
No, 100%. 100%. I agree with that's probably where Joan Jett's mind was, but little did she know. But, I mean, so now I just sort of think of it as, well, at least that hot girl got me, got me back.
I always wondered what happened backstage at Judas Priest concerts.
That had to be. Well, I mean, I asked.
Well, not the whole band, just one particular.
But I asked. Remember that one interview that we did?
Yes.
And by the way, this is a whole other story.
That was the best interview I've ever heard.
We did 20 minutes of an interview with lead singer
Rob Halford.
Is he still the lead singer of Judas Priest, or I don't even know if they're still playing?
No, he had it was right before he went back, but it was right after he came out.
Yeah, and we had an interview with him, and so I had a 20-minute discussion, and he let Jim the photographer and I ask any questions at all. And I remember asking him about that. I said, did you ever hit on anyone backstage? And he said, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get explicit. He said that something about he would he had a whip or something that he would whip like hot guys in the audience with.
There was
or something.
a way he told the roadies who he wanted to invite backstage. But yet here's the thing. That interview never aired.
No.
And we still don't know what the hell happened to it. We had recorded this interview, and it was 20 minutes of an incredible, it might have been one of the best interviews I ever did.
It's the best one I've heard. I remember that because I was so pissed when it
was Rob Halford, and he was actually being really public. I would say coming clean, but it's not like that's not the correct adjective for what was happening. He was just being really honest, and I was asking questions, just wanting to know, like to put myself in your shoes, and he was answering everything, and we were.
And he was being humorous, and he was being like fun and down to earth. I don't really see a lot of interviews with him like that.
He was flirting with Jimmy, and it was this great interview, and we showed up the next morning to play it, and someone had erased it from the radio station. It's a true story.
We had this little, I mean, it was, like you said, the late 90s, so we didn't have all the technology about, dragging and dropping and sharing on networks and copying and all that. So this only existed in this little digital recorder. That's the only place it was. You had to go through a whole process to get audio off there. So we would do that in groups, get like a week or something. And I mean, it wasn't 8 hours or whatever. It was gone. It was just gone.
I do remember someone.
And everything else was still there. It was like that was the only thing deleted.
I do remember someone telling me at the time, I don't want some 20-minute interview about gay sex. And I'm like, at no point in this interview was I asking Rob Halford, please tell me how you have gay sex. That was not what the interview was.
He volunteered that information himself.
Well, the interview had nothing to do with the act of sex. It had to do with just the particulars of this guy who
I remember somebody being upset, but I think you're remembering a different person. So there were probably two people who were upset.
Yeah,
because the person I remember being upset wouldn't have been able to bark out orders like that.
The person that I was told was upset shocked me that they were upset. I wouldn't think they would have a problem with
this person wouldn't have shocked you. So there were two people.
Mm-hmm.
Because the person I remember was upset, not so much because of gay sex on the air, because, Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster was on the air every morning. So that was already, already enough gay sex references. It was because his hero was gay, or one of his heroes, or one of his whatever was gay, and he didn't like that. So let's just that doesn't even need to exist.
All I know is that somehow between us doing and we came in the afternoon to do the interview.
Right, yeah.
You went to me and said, hey, we have a chance to talk to Rob Halford. And I was like, what? And you said, we have a chance to talk to Rob Halford, but you and Jimmy are going to have to come in at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to record it. And I think it was Crash that was maybe doing afternoons. And he was like, or who was the fat boy that was doing afternoons?
Crash. I will say, I think John Carroll was on middays.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
And so whoever it was, they left the studio so we could record the interview. And all I know is that we did the interview, and I felt so good about it. I was like, for the end of the year awards, I want to turn this interview in.
Yeah, it was that
good. And
how often did I compliment you on anything?
Very rarely. But I do remember you complimenting me on the
yes.
interview. Holy crap. That was a real and Jim, and even Jim the photographer was like just so thrilled about the interview we had just done. And it was funny. It was engaging and entertaining.
I remember how it started too. It was Jim talking to Rob Halford about hot babes and how he must get all these hot girls being the heavy metal star. And Rob Halford then said to you, Ray, does he not know? Maybe you should tell him something. And then that's how that was like 20 seconds into the interview. And then the rest of the interview was all that.
And he was really forthright and honest, and it was
funny.
It was a
down to
really
earth,
good interview. And also we covered their songs and what was going through his mind. And he was telling us, he goes, yeah, I wrote the lyrics to that song. It was about a guy. And I mean, it was just a really.
Oh my God! Songs like "Raw Deal" and "Devil's Child" for Judas Priest fans. I got a question. How did you not know?
All I know is that we came in the next day to play the interview, and it had been deleted.
Yeah, it's gone.
I remember.
And it was in a studio, a small studio we had in the corner. You would have had to have walked past the on-air announcer or waited for that person to leave the studio. So it wasn't like this was a big high traffic area. With,
I remember that
hundreds of people.
I was so pissed off. I remember being so angry when the interview happened that I ran down to Tom Kushak's office, and I went into his office and let him and told him, what had happened. And he was like, he goes, I understand you're upset. I'll try to find out. I'll try to find out what happened. And I know he was pissed. And then I also went and talked to Fat Boy, and I let Fat Boy know how angry I was, and they both knew it. And I remember Tom Kushak was really, really upset, but he was upset because we were upset. And I just said, I can't work here if someone's going to be touching my shit. You know what I mean? Because that was, for us, that was an award-winning interview, and it never aired. Yeah. And the guy that I was told did it, I don't want to say who I was told did it, but it was also someone that eventually got in trouble not that much long afterwards. He got
okay, so we are talking about the same person.
Is that who you were talking about?
Yeah. Like I said, this person wouldn't have been able to bark out orders and that kind of thing.
Oh, I just looked at your yes, that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who I was told.
Okay.
And you know what? I can even tell you who told me, but yeah. That's who erased it. I'm positive now that that's who erased it.
Yeah.
And it really made
no evidence though. So
yeah, we have no evidence. We're just throwing it out there. And I'm not even sure he's with us anymore. I believe he recently passed away. But yeah, and I just remember I was so angry about it. And I remember Tom Kushak saying and calling Fat Boy, and we'll get to the bottom of it, I promise. And if someone deleted it intentionally, we will terminate them. Lo and behold,
don't you love it when bosses say that? We'll get to the bottom of this. No,
they did terminate that guy. but that's not what the reason he was terminated.
Yeah, no,
he was
that
terminated
was
for something much worse. But yeah. Anyway, that's the story we're ending on this week is the Rob Halford interview that
the great
was
phantom interview that, three of us heard.
Well, listen, Rocky, I'm glad you came back this week. Thank God. Let's get back Monday and do another good show. And I promise I'm going to get out and get those VCR tapes and send them off to you. So get me an address to where I can send them off, and hopefully you can save them. I hope they haven't been destroyed.
What I was saying earlier was, I've been going through this quarantine hair thing. I've got one haircut, and it's horrible, as you can see. So I was thinking about having Doran cut my hair.
She'd do you right up, yeah.
Well, that would mean I would go to Springfield.
Yeah, then you could, and literally, I live blocks away from where Doran works, so you'd come right by the house.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Instead of, because I don't mail anymore during this. Is like you don't know how long, especially a big box like that.
Well, if that's what you want to do, that would be easy. That'd be super easy.
Yeah.
You can even take some cassettes with you too if you feel like dubbing any of those. So yeah,
Project 3 we're on now.
And Doran, I'm sure Doran, depending on what day it is, whatever. I'm convinced Doran could very easily pencil you in.
Yeah,
it wouldn't take
it
her
would
that
be
long.
up to Doran because my schedule's open.
So
it would be.
For men,
whenever you are home and Doran can do it.
For men's hair, it's not going to take her too long to do yours. So I'm
No.
sure she could pencil you in between clients as well. So yeah, send her a Facebook message and let's make it happen. That would be
Awesome.
fantastic. All right, thank you, buddy. Great shows this week, and I'm so glad you're part of the show. And everybody, thank you so much for listening. For those of you that haven't found out, we originally started this and we said we were going to go Monday through Thursday. Well, I see what Brett just wrote in the chat room. He said, "Yes, Rocky, please come past my house and look around in my garage." No, that's not. It's going to be much more than just me leaving my garage door open and telling Rocky to just zoom by. That's
a video right there. You don't want that video.
I'd
on.
love for Rocky
Let's
to
take
meet-
a look in Ray Lytle's garage.
I'd love for him to meet my daughter because the last time he saw my daughter, she was 3 years old.
Yes, every time you say that, I'm like picturing this 3-year-old.
Yeah. And she's, by the way, just remember my wife the first time you met her, what she looked like? That's what my daughter looks.
Well, yeah, she looked the same pretty much the whole time, right?
Yeah. She doesn't look that different now, but I'm saying my daughter looks a lot like my wife.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. I sure as hell don't want her looking like me. However, she did get some of my best features. She got
your sense of humor.
She got the best features of mine and the best features of my wife. She got both of them. So no, I of course would want you to meet my daughter and stuff as well. But when we first started the show, we said we were going to go Monday through Thursday, and then I switched it because of the pandemic. I said we'd go Monday through Friday. Well, now that we're getting to full swing and people are going back to work and everything, we are going to go to the Monday through Thursday. However, we will do a Friday show, but that's going to be either a Patreon or Twitch show or something that will be subscriber based. All right, that's coming in the future, but the regular show is going to go Monday through Thursday. All right, and to let you guys know, also we are starting to talk to advertisers. The advertisers we have, like Recon Techs and DTE Technologies, 408-0001 DTE Technologies. Let them become your IT person for your business. And Core Installation Furniture and Supply, 741-1079. Corey now has not just furniture, but she has masks, gloves, and disinfectant sanitizer for your office. Call her 741-1079. The sponsors that we have all come to me. Now we're going out looking for sponsors. So if you guys know of anyone, please pass it along. Let them know that we are taking advertising for the Morning Disaster now that things are starting to get back to normal somewhat. We are starting to talk to people. So if you know of anyone, and we don't have a restaurant, and there are lots of, what I'm trying to do is keep it to just one of something. So if I get, like I got Recon Techs, which does car detailing, I'm not going to have any other car detailers on the Morning Disaster. So it'll just be recon techs. You know what I mean? So if you know of any of those businesses, by all means, let them know we exist so they can reach out, or just get me their number so we can reach out to them. And because I really want this thing to happen. I love doing this show. It is the happiest, it's the happiest 2 hours of the day. There's no doubt about it. And I just want to keep it happening. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And Rocky, thank you so much for being on the show. And Nick, Doran, Nikki, Jason, everybody else who's been on this week. It has just been the funnest week. And I can't wait for Monday to bring you, once again, Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. We will get out of here for now. Let's say goodbye. And I have a song to play before we leave, if my computer will let me play it. We'll get out of here. So long, everybody.
You better wake up, sleepyhead, and get your fat butt out of bed. There's a man who got up at 4 a.m. just to play you Zeppelin and Pearl Jam. Raymond Lytle is his name. Some have called him just a bit insane. But you may find him a little idiotic. But his is the only morning show you can say has really got it. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. With Central Illinois' morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. Sean Bull and Scott, news and sports. Bodine's running down North Grand in his undershorts. Michelle will dwell on things colored pink and purple. They'll explain why Jim made a remake of that movie called The Black Hole. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. The Central Illinois morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's Morning Disaster.
Thank you so much for listening this week, everybody. We'll be back next week, starting Monday, with brand new shows. So long. All right, the people listening to just the audio feed, you will hear a replay in seconds. If you're watching on Facebook, that video will end in a few minutes, but you will be able to start a replay of that. You know how it works on Facebook almost immediately. You'll be able to start a replay of that. Thank you so much, and I'll see everybody on Monday. So long, everybody.